Hello, good afternoon, welcome. Okay, let's pick up where we left off. So, we were in the middle of preparing the final version of this so that we can start expanding and actually get some people in. That will be the long-term goal, but I did realize that I actually want to change this slightly. Because of how close this thing is going to make the asteroids, I actually want to, on these little walkways here, I want it to go downwards slightly. So I'm going to modify this. At least that will be the plan. Get rid of all of that. That. And that. Okay, and I believe so that's how they are. They're just to smooth those. So we can't use those the way that I would like to use them. No, I actually want them on the top. I want to use them as a ramp. Similar to these. There we go, ramp full. We can use this. They do come with VoD versions. Because this is a floor, I actually want it to look like the rest of the floor. What texture would that be? Is there a texture that looks like the rest of the floor? This is a reasonable question. That doesn't look anything like that. Okay, there is not. Okay, if there is not, then we'll use something slightly more solid. Still want it to look metallic. Not going to be able to flip these around to connect them on the underside, are we? Ramp full, ramp down. Okay. They do have a variant. The feeding angled, yeah, they're not going to work. You may actually have to make them using the Yeah, we are. We're going to need to remove these ones. These needs to use the same texture as that. Which is... Actually, do they even have it? I don't think they will. Because it's a custom tile. I mean, that's the nearest thing. It's the wrong way round, though. It'll do. It looks like it's made of the same material, even if it's just a different angle. So that's fine. Okay. And then... doesn't have the pattern in the middle of it. Is there a version of that with the pattern? I doubt it. We don't need this open now, we can use these. Not going to be able to put this on here. That was not what I picked up. That one. Okay. Give ourselves a bit more room. I was debating doing a thing, but I don't think we can do. The thing I was thinking of doing was if we could put containers anywhere. At least that would make sense to buffer things like ore. Like, is there a way I could put them here? We need to go out by one to be able to loop around and just keep doing it. To have a container for each type of ore, which would then put each type of ore on a belt. Because aside from the carbon, I don't think there's any need anything other than just making ingots that we can do with these ones. I think you just make ingots with them. Carbon has a few extra things you can do with it. And this is just used to make oxygen or water. So we don't need to keep too big a permanent storage of this. And I do want to do that. I just need to figure out how to do it. I want to I want the basic warehouse to be loaded only using drones so that I can specify, hey, keep a stack of everything in here that is used for construction, rather than have it belted in. Hang on a second, just 2? Where'd the rest of the resources go? I put enough in there to make 50, and they're not being outputted anywhere. Did it destroy the resources? I get the feeling it's destroyed resources by leaving the resources in here and then quitting the game and coming back in. I swear I loaded up these with enough for 100, didn't I? I'm gonna sanity check that. What did I do at the end of last episode? Honestly, I am of a mind that if that's what it's done, they've gone full release and it's voided items during a save. If that is what it's done, I may just stop playing now. Because if you have that kind of bug, you have no business being full release. It may be that I actually already pulled a lot of the resources out. That's them working there. I would have had to have grabbed the resources from them. When did I fill them up? Trying to find the point at which I placed them down. Okay, they're not there yet. Come on, YouTube, buffer faster so that I can skip through this. We're still messing around up top. Putting it into place, reorganizing it. Okay, we're having a look underneath here. We still don't have them placed here. Doing a whole bunch of drilling now. This took a while. Now I place the other side down. Still don't have it placed down here. Still not placed down there, so it was one of the last things I did. Just messing around with how to do storage. Sorry, I know you can't see this. It's me reviewing the last stream. We rearrange that to pull items off. I think it's around about here that we decided to build them. Yeah, because we ran out of bars to make those. My main concern is just how many of them I actually made, or I grabbed to make. Right, we grabbed 50 of each. We made 50 of them, not 100 of them. We got 9 from here. Okay. I don't think it voided it. I think I just didn't make as many as I thought I did. I am worrying over nothing. Can I get that carbon off your head? No. Apparently still have 350 of these. I still don't get why we have quite so many. Okay, so yeah, I don't want raw materials going into here, period. There's no need to. I'm not going to belt feed this with anything. How do I want to do this, though? Because we've got multiple different resources coming in on the same belt, which is fine. They don't come in particularly quickly. That's eventually going to get moved. I might temporarily move it now. That was not what I was aiming at, game. Okay, now we can use this area here. As a resource buffer. The mining. Okay. Carbon specifically in that one. Let's have gold and aluminium in that one. Titanium and uranium in that one. ice can get pulled off elsewhere. I need one drone to keep 200 carbon in here at all times. Huh. How is there not already 200 carbon in there? That can't go there, it needs to come forward a bit. Oh, is that actually not allowed to go on top of here? It's not. It does need to go one higher. Okay, that still works then. What else have we got that needs to go in here? We're going to get these three. Dirt is just used to make quartz. Quartz is used to make glass and hydroponics. Stone is used for stone plates. Wait, can we really not stack these? Serious? Oh no, now... No, that's behind it. We're not allowed to stack them. They look perfectly stackable. Why can't we stack them? Is verticality just a myth? I don't like that. Okay. We'll work around it. Arbitrary limitations. We complained about it in the last game we was playing. We'll complained about it in this one. I want this to be here because I reckon... they'll come out this way because I think I'm going to have food processing over here. And quartz made from dirt. is turned into food. That also requires water. So maybe I send it off over that way instead. We have somehow managed to lose some amount of the water. We've lost 50 in total. These are only getting their own chest just because I don't know where else to put them. Dirt. Quartz. Well, I don't know what else to put in these, and then ice will go in the last one. Okay, down here goes... Actually, no, we can't do it that way around, because... we don't have enough filter points. We only have 5. Okay, I would also like you to keep, let's say, 20 ice in there. And 100 dirt. Okay. Wait, seriously? Seriously? Devs! I know why it's doing this. This is considered a full block. This is considered a full block. This full block cannot be in the same square as this full block. That's why. That doesn't make it BS, and that they should have found a way to make it work. Well, I guess now we have a legitimate reason to need to do it this way. Do I want these stacked on top of each other, or will they be fine next to each other? I think I'd rather have them on top of each other, so I think we'll do it this way until we have tubes. That doesn't seem right. This doesn't seem right at all. If this is occupying this block here, then this block is occupying this block here, then this one will be the block above it. It should go. It shouldn't have any reason not to let me put that there. I shouldn't need to do that. Very questionable design decisions. Okay, okay, no, fine. If it's going to force me to do it that way, then I'm going to do this a different way. Plus, this will be slightly better for expandability anyway. I can't flip these around. I was thinking whether or not I wanted this on the other side. There's reasons for me to have it on the other side, but... Why did that not split? Give me some additional ore down here, please. It's iron. Shouldn't we have some amount of copper coming? I sworn one of these was over a copper patch. Ah, technically yes, they're all mixed patches. So let's kill the power for this for a second. At the very least it's split incorrectly between the two of them. Okay, copy that, put it there. That, however, is gold. Copy that, put it there. This is 50, 0. Aluminium. Going in there, copper going in there. That's all I wanted to see. I'm kind of tempted to turn these around when we get the next version of these. And the reason for that is because the actual thing is on a particular side, this is going to get blocked by any island I have here, and the plan was potentially to have another island over there, so the same is going to happen to both of these. so they may need to be moved 90 degrees to point that way, so that they're not causing any problems. Okay. What do we want to do about the output? I was considering that this way would be resource, or this is like pure ingots and resource production. That way was going to be material production. So the ingots would want to go over there. How many filters am I allowed to set up on this? Probably not enough, I'm betting. Five. Not enough. I am right. Everything is too limited. Arbitrarily limited. Device state just seemed like that will control whether it's on or off, which is fine for preventing overproduction of resources. But in terms of being able to fill this in a particular way so that I always have resources, I have no means to do it. Unless I'm manually loading it myself, at which point I may as well just be using my inventory. I would need to know more specifically controls device enable state. So yeah, the only thing it can do is turn something on or off. I assume I can't turn these on or off. No. So I can't use these on each individual input to say keep a certain amount of this in here and then use an inventory checker to prevent those from being filled and having those feed them. I need to assess something. What is it about this game that is really, really starting to annoy me? I've already established and agreed to myself this is not a factory builder. I don't need to treat it like a factory builder. But if it's supposed to be a colony builder, then at that point I'm comparing parts of this to the likes of Oh, god damn it. Rimworld and what are the other ones? Specifically the two space ones that came out recently. I can't remember the name of one of them. The other one was The Last Starship. Are they still in my wish list? I can't remember if I removed them. But it was on the same sort of line as The Last Starship. I thought it should be before The Last Starship in my list. That's a similar one. It's not the one I was thinking of, Stardews. I think I removed the other one from my wish list eventually. No, I wouldn't have removed it from my wish list. I own it already. It's somewhere in my library. Installed locally. Where is my to playlist? It might still be in there. No. No, it's not Cosmoneer. It's not Starbase, Starbound, Stardrive, Starfield, Starmaid, Starminer. Space Haven, that's the one. So at that point I'm comparing it to those, but even those allow you to specify, it's like, this inventory slot is for this item. This inventory slot is for this item. And limited that way. I think it's just the number of arbitrary limitations that are being placed upon me that are preventing me from doing stuff that plenty of other games allow me to do. And that's getting annoying at this point. The speed of resources being processed, that's not a problem. If that's just how fast resources come in and how fast they get processed, fair enough. But I feel like the game is actively fighting against me. Doing stuff that are solved problems for other games. This was a tempering wire. Because at this point, I now don't know how I can properly manage this, or all of these inventories, so that I have the stuff in there I need to build, and so that the entire thing doesn't just eventually clog up because a resource has got too high. The only way to do that would be to turn off the thing producing the resource to begin with, and you can't do that until you have both this and then, where is it? Radar, where's signal transmission? Is it before or after? Hangar, rover, spacecraft. Plasma thruster. Is there a search? There's not a search. There it is. Antenna signal receiver. So to be able to remotely turn something on and off, it's like back end of the text tree. Because otherwise I have to wire them directly, and I can't wire two things between two bodies. So I can't wire the inventory here to check to say, hey, this is full, to turn off the miners, because there's no means on this to transmit a signal through it. Until the end of the game. Give me a minute. I need to decide if I am annoyed enough that I am not having fun that I want to do something else. Because no one wants to watch somebody streaming something they're not enjoying. And I have other options. This is not a problem that I can solve with the tools the game is providing me. Without doing a whole bunch of manual intervention, which defeats the point of automation. And that's explicitly because of arbitrary limitations the game is putting on me. You can only have 5 things in a filter. Any filter. This includes filters that specify how full you want a storage container to be. You can't limit storage containers to say I only want to use 2 slots. You can't limit each individual space in a storage container to say I want it to be filled with this. So the only way to limit a storage container or what's in a storage container is to manually load it with drones. But that applies the same filter system that is limited to 5. And I don't much feel like having a base warehouse for every 5 resources that's needed in construction, particularly given its size compared to its pathetic inventory space. Nah, I'm not in the mood to fight a game. Fight a game to get it to work in a way that is useful to the player and not some arbitrary limitation implemented by the dev. And it's an arbitrary limitation. There's no reason they couldn't allow you to have an unlimited number of these requests. None. There is no reason at all they couldn't do that. There's no reason at all they couldn't allow me to specify effectively a transport request for each individual square in here so I can make sure that it is full with a particular item and have it just one particular item is always in here and a maximum stack of it. There's no reason they couldn't do that. They have arbitrarily limited it, and I do not feel like fighting them to get this to work in a way that will help me play it faster and enjoy playing it. So no, screw that. One moment. We're going to change game. Which presents a problem on YouTube, because I will now need to create a separate stream and redirect you to it. Because yeah, I've run into too many things that are just like every other game I play that has any kind of factory builder or like colony simulator allows you to do this, and they do not. So we instead are going to play, you can blame Zeke the Geek for this. We're going to play Elite Dangerous, because that's been on my mind recently. And again, that's Zeke the Geek's fault. So I need to create an emergency thumbnail. Let me prep Twitch, because that one's easier. Title. Back in my day, we didn't have legs. Or rather, we couldn't use them. I'll keep the solo tag for now, even though we may not be playing that. Okay, now we need to set up a new stream on YouTube. Go live, studio. Schedule a stream. I don't think I've streamed Elite Dangerous before. At least I don't think I've streamed it on YouTube since I started streaming on YouTube, so I don't think I have any kind of playlist or anything. Hydro complains Elite Dan. No. Okay. We will reuse the settings for this then and then just modify it. Okay, let's give it the same title. Assuming that we can fit it. The title is a little deliberately obtuse. Basically, I've not played Elite Dangerous since... when... I think it was 2018? No, that can't be right. There was a number somewhere, or a date somewhere I'd seen on my account that gave me an indication as to how long ago it was since I last played it. It's been a long time. Years. I haven't played it since before they implemented Space Legs, hence the title. Add this after stream. Do I want to throw together a thumbnail or something? What I need to do is I would need to actually have a stream to do that from. I want to create basically a template that I can just grab when I need to do something like this, rather than grab a previous stream that already has completed information and then have to modify that completed information to be accurate to whatever I'm doing. Because I have to edit the hashtags, and then I have to edit the extra search tags, then I have to change the game, then I have to give it a thumbnail, and then I have to change the actual tags. Elite Dangerous. Thumbnail can go later. New playlist. Okay. Just 2 more bits to do. The actual search tags. Why doesn't that look like it's spelled right? Okay, that's all the tags. Everything else in here should be fine. Let me quickly create a thumbnail. Create a proper one. Actually, let's check to make sure there is a press kit we can grab from. Because if there's not, I'll just use a temporary thumbnail. Elite Dangerous press kit. Press, that doesn't necessarily mean press kit. Cosmetic, no. Customization, no. None of this is useful. Do you have a press kit download for this? It's kind of a flip of a coin as to whether or not somebody's dropping something metallic outside. Kind of a flip of a coin whether or not they any particular game has a actual proper press kit. Frontier. If we go to the Elite Dangerous, where is the press kit? Reddit. Still no look. This was 11 years ago. Nope. About news, buy, marketing information, latest news, buy now. Games, careers, investors. I am seeing nothing here for a press kit. Okay, emergency. Deploy the emergency. The emergency stream thumbnail. Did I ever create an actual template from this? No, I just modified the old one and then didn't save it. That's fine. We can just use this one. I'm fairly sure I spelled emergency wrong again. I don't know whether I should get tested to be dyslexic so I can say, yes, I am actually dyslexic. Or whether I should just continue assuming that I am. All evidence points to yes. Why do I need a little bit of certificate telling me that, yes, in fact, you are dyslexic? This is why you are terrible with spelling. And why you can look at a word and be absolutely certain you have spelt it wrong when you have in fact spelt it correctly. Export. What am I going to do with the first hour of this stream? On YouTube, at least. On Twitter, it's fine. On YouTube, it's basically 1 hour of me doing things, getting frustrated and giving up, which I suppose is an indictment against the game, and that's fine. I don't mind that. That's the developer's problem. They've created a game that is annoying me. Okay. Change this. Thumbnail. There's the emergency thumbnail. Customize. That all looks fine. Visibility, public, going live in we'll say 2 minutes. Done. Come over to the YouTube dashboard. Edit the current live stream. We'll change this to VoD. Delete those, we can edit them later. I did forget to tick that, untick these. Where's the redirect? I think it's a customization. Customize. Redirect to that. Save. Okay. In the event that you are in fact watching on YouTube, YouTube doesn't allow me to split a video up based on games, so I have to create a new stream and then transfer you over to it. I've created a new stream. When I end, let me just get the link in case this doesn't work the way it should do. Refresh. There it is. Share the link. YouTube should ask you if you want to be sent to the thing that I'm redirecting you to. It's the same stream, but we're going to be playing Elite Dangerous. So that'll be the plan. So, thank you for watching. If you were watching this, hopefully we'll see you there. I'll be back in a second.